What wrestling federations don't want you to know.
There will be some people that are angry at me for what I'm doing here.
How they make it look so real, even though it isn't.
What do you mean by fake? It's fake.
But don't be mistaken. If you think wrestling is all just one big hoax, you may be shocked when you discover the secrets. Before we get to the action, let's meet the masked men who will expose wrestling's greatest secrets. The wrestlers' names and appearances have been changed to protect their true identities. Here is Brute Force, the All-American Boy, Colossus, Ben Hurt, Private Pain,
Stay in your corner until you get attacked!
Skullduggery, Slither, and Brash Knuckles.
There's no way getting around it. You watch TV every Monday night and you can see, oh, they're stomping when they punch. Oh, they're stomping when they kick. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that punches are pulled.
Every wrestling match is filled with explosive action. The violence looks real because the men in the ring employ secret tricks to make it look a lot more dangerous than it really is. The deception starts with 5 basic moves that every wrestler needs to know. Wrestling basic number 1, the body slam.
Most people think when you're body slammed in the ring, it doesn't hurt. Nothing can be further from the truth.
That's because you're lifted 6 feet above the ring and slammed into the mat at full force. There's a secret to how it works. First, Private Pain isn't lifting Ben Hurt by himself. They're actually working together to pull off this trick. It's really Ben who's pushing off of Private Pain's thighs to launch himself into the air. See? There's the push-off. But that's not the only secret. Private Pain isn't trying to hurt his opponent. He's actually trying to help him by not slamming him down until his head is safely tucked in. He avoids injury by landing flat on his back and not on his head. Now for basic rule number 2, the punch.
If a 280-pound guy punched a 300-pound guy in the face, he'd either have no teeth or a broken jaw.
He's right. No one could take a beating like this if the punches were real. So what's the secret?
Almost all the wrestlers in the ring tend to work light. We touch very light. All the holes are very light. Because we want to make it look as believable as possible, with as little injury to each other as possible.
Just like in a back alley brawl, a closed fist can cause serious damage when it lands on someone's chin. So how do the wrestlers avoid getting hurt? Here's the secret. An open fist, which doesn't pack any real punch. Unlike movie stuntmen, wrestlers don't swing and miss. They make light contact so their opponent will know when to react. From this angle, we can see that the punches are so light, they barely touch the wrestler's stomach. But the fans think they're real, because they don't know the secrets. On to basic move number 3, the stomp. There's always a lot of stomping going on inside the ring. No, these wrestlers aren't doing the Texas two-step, they're creating another illusion by making the punching sounds with their feet. And you thought the Lord of the Dance made a lot of noise. Here's basic move number 4, the kick.
It's all about minimizing the impact, you know. It's no different than a boxer rolling with a punch. The best way for a boxer to protect himself when a guy's hitting him with a punch is to roll with it.
The combination of ballet and brutality. The head kick takes perfect timing. In this case, some acting lessons wouldn't hurt either. Here's the secret. There's no real strength behind the kick because there is no kick. The All-American boy simply holds his foot up and brute force runs into it. The foot does make contact, but not where you think. Brute force's hand, not head, takes the force of the blow, while his arm secretly guides the foot to its target. When he snaps his head back at just the right moment, the kick looks real, but we know it isn't. Finally, basic move number 5, the headbutt.
Headbutts are awesome if you know how to do them. I'll hit my thumb or my hand. Sometimes I might not even come close.
The headbutt appears to be a savage and unmerciful act in which heads collide with raw energy. Of course, that would cause an instant concussion if the wrestlers really smashed heads, but they don't. The secret? With his hand on the All-American boy's head, brute force drives his forehead into his own thumb, pulling sharply away just as he connects. Now that you know the secrets behind these 5 basic moves, you'll never look at wrestling the same way again. So what makes these moves look so believable when you watch a match? Wrestlers call it the sell.
If I'm laying somebody beaten, and if they don't know how to sell what I'm doing to them, it's not going to look real. It's not going to look good.
These hits and kicks would look as phony as they really are if the victim didn't follow through with a good sell job. It's one of the secret ingredients that makes wrestling look so real.
When you receive a punch, you have to sell that punch.
Your job is to sell, to grimace, to make the hold look painful, even though there's absolutely no pressure being applied to you whatsoever.
You could lose every match in the world. If you know how to sell, you could become a superhero because people will love you.
If the wrestlers didn't grunt and groan or kick and scream in pain, this would look downright hokey. By selling the agony to the crowd, the fake fight looks vicious. But we know that the wrestlers aren't really hurting each other. Looks like the All-American boy is acting more like the All-American baby. This poke in the eye is pretty convincing. But let's take a closer look at what's really going on. Here, the thumb never comes close to the eye, but the fans buy it because of the sell. Here's the classic rake across the ropes. From the front, it looks like sheer torture. But from this angle, you can see that the wrestler's eye isn't even touching the rope. His fingers are protecting his face. All that screaming makes it believable. He continues the sell throughout this hold, which is called the arm bar. That's gotta hurt. Well, not really. Here's how it looks without the theatrics. Now see how convincing it looks when he sells it. That's showbiz.
While the people are there watching the match, they want to believe.
And they do believe, thanks to sell jobs like these. Coming up, you'll meet the mystery man who decides who wins and who loses every wrestling match.
Your main job is putting 2 people together that'll draw money.
Plus, the biggest secrets aren't on top of the ring, they're underneath it. Wait till you see what's hiding down there. And how do wrestlers fly out of the ring, bash into their opponents, and not get hurt? Find out how it's done when we expose more of wrestling's greatest secrets.